Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering of my Sampler Platter. Yes, indeed, folks, Sampler Platter videos, serious videos I've been doing. Yeah, windy hair. I've been doing it for a little while now, where I go over there, I try out food and drink items. I go over there and I talk about the things that I've eaten, explain it to all of you. You do with it whatever the hell you do with it, and then we go about the rest of our lives. Hopefully that's the end of it. I don't need people being creepy and, like, obsessing about, the Sampler Platter videos or doing anything. I mean, do what you want to do with your life, but maybe don't do that, I'm thinking. Anyway, folks, so what am I here to do? What am I here to try? Well, folks, as y'all can tell, I'm doing this from a truck. Anybody who's watched my videos for a while knows that, hey, when I do videos from my truck, it's usually because I went out and I got something, and I'm, like, on my way to do the thing. So that's the case today. Went out, grabbed a couple items, because guess what, folks? We're going to do a comparison video. I mean, you probably already know because there's, like, a title and the whole thing, but... So, folks, again, folks who watch my channel, I've kind of slowly but surely becoming, like, the chicken sandwich guy. A little while back, I did a comparison between the famous / infamous Popeyes chicken sandwich and KFC's new chicken sandwich offering. And I actually did 2 videos for those, where I did the original recipe ones, and then I did the spicy ones. And, again, go back and watch those. So, I also did a jalapeno popper chicken sandwich from Wendy's. That was another one I did. And I didn't really think there was going to be too much more to that anytime real soon. Like, there had been a couple things I'd been hearing about in the pipeline, but I didn't really think there'd be that much. And then, recently, actually just a couple days ago, was making my rounds, decided to go over there, stop off at the old Mickey D's. Specifically right now, they have the Shamrock Shake back, and I love the Shamrock Shake. It's an American institution. I don't care what anybody says. And they had a new item on there, and I saw it, and I'm like, well, I guess we're doing another one of these. So, folks, boom! Yeah, folks, McDonald's came out with their own specialty chicken sandwich, because somehow this shit just keeps rolling. I don't really get it, but I don't dislike the fact. It's just kind of weird. But okay. At least with the Wendy's thing, like, it's just its own thing. It's just, just happens to be a chicken sandwich. But this is another instance, like, with Popeyes and KFC, I get it. They're duking it out, they're arch nemesis, and they're doing the whole thing. I get that. But you've got McDonald's throwing their hat in the ring. Now I hear you say, folks, but Brandon, McDonald's has always had chicken sandwiches. What the fuck you talking about? No, folks. This is them throwing down. This is like their premium new thing. And here's how you can tell. Because all of these chicken sandwiches, like the fancy schmancy ones, they come in these new things. Popeyes did it first, then when KFC came out with theirs, it was almost the exact same freaking bag. And then, now, I mean, it's a little bit different, obviously, but yeah. And this is clearly, obviously, McDonald's had the McChicken forever. This is not typically what you get the McChicken in, because this is the spicy crispy chicken sandwich. This is clearly their offering up against Popeyes. Now, right out the gate, folks, I'm not going to go over there and be super duper biased, but let's kind of be honest. In all likelihood, Popeyes is going to take this one. I'm okay with McDonald's. They have a few items I like every so often, though. As years have gone by, it seems like their menu seems less and less inspired, which is a weird thing to say about McDonald's, but It's pretty basic these days. I enjoy McChicken every now and again. You can get one usually for like $1 or so. It's a good time. I mean, it's an okay time. You know, I don't know how much they're going to go into this, but I mean, right off the bat, before I even open them, this definitely feels a little bit heftier. So, we're going to see how it goes. Trying to think, what's going to be the best way? You know, I mean, we're gonna do the Popeyes first, because this is the standard, and this is the spicy version. So I got the spicy one from McDonald's, spicy one for this. I'm not gonna do it like an original recipe one version. So so okay, we got the Popeyes. It's been around for a little bit. And look at that, you know, it's got this big old chunk of chicken. It's got pickles, because why wouldn't it have pickles? I don't understand the pickles with the chicken sandwich, but for whatever reason. And it's got, you know, spicy mayo. It's doing its thing, folks. So let's go ahead, let's give this one a shot right off the bat. Like I said, this is the standard. I didn't include the KFC one in this, because, for one thing, it would have made the video really long. But on top of that, in the battle of the spicy chicken sandwiches between KFC and Popeyes, I gave it to Popeyes. So, winner gets to keep playing. KFC, you gotta sit out this one. Alright, fucking pickles. I gotta say, look, I'm gonna give them extra points for crunch on this one. Last couple that I had, still a sandwich, but didn't have as much crunch, so I appreciate that. This one's got some oomph to it. And yeah, I mean, you know, just like I talked about in my other video, watch my other video. It's got a nice spice to it. It's very prominent throughout. It's not super duper spicy, but there is a kick to it. For me, I really like it. I think it's a fantastic kick. You know, it's not gonna, you know, it's definitely there. It's definitely there. You're definitely going to notice it. But it shouldn't go over there and kick you down the stairs with the spice or anything. And on top of that, you're still getting that Popeyes flavor. It's definitely a distinct fried chicken flavor. So, right off the bat, there's a reason why this is, you know, for me and I think for most of the country, this is kind of the standard when it comes to that. Even with the pickles. And like I said in my other review, at least with the spicy versions, I can kind of understand the pickles. The normal one, I don't see a fucking point. So, that's the standard. Now we're going to do the McDonald's offering. One thing that's immediately different, there's no, whereas the KFC one and the Popeyes one, they're not only in this, but they got their own individual wrappers. No individual wrappers here. Now, visually, right off the bat, folks, that looks like a McChicken sandwich, doesn't it? I mean, maybe a smidge fancier than kind of the normal, but I mean, you know, it's pretty deflated looking. I mean, it is not an impressive looking sandwich. McDonald's, you know, love them or hate them, they're not looking to impress. They know what they're selling you. And that's all there is to it. Palate cleanser with I got some Hawaiian punch here. I wanted to get the sweet tea, and I mentioned this last time too in my previous video. I wanted to get the sweet tea from Popeyes. They were out last time, they're out this time too. I don't understand. I don't know if they're not selling it anymore, or if they're just selling out of it before I get there. If that's the case, it's pretty impressive. I think they open at like 10 or 11. At the time I got there, it was like 2:30. So, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, you can see, folks. You can, come on now. So, at this point, I mean, it's not an issue. We'll see. Taste could certainly. It's less an issue of trying to win the battle and more an issue of trying to save some face. So, let's take a look at this. What the components are. Yeah, and you can see it's got pickles. Again, another indication that this is intended to be their offering of that. Because I don't think generally the McChicken has pickles on it. So, alright, let's get a bite with some pickles, because I got a big old pickle bite. Alright. Wow. Okay. Right off the bat, it's not particularly crispy, especially compared to the Popeyes. Popeyes, you could feel it, you could hear it. There was a crunch. With this, I mean, yeah, it's a little crispy, but it's not very crispy. Also feels like they skimped on. I mean, it feels like the chicken itself does have a little heat to it with whatever they seasoned it with. But my guess is that it mostly comes from the mayo, or what I'm guessing is mayo. And it really seems like they skimped on it. Like, it really seems like this should have been spread out more to really get, a better effect. Yeah, I mean, it's not even, it's not even, never mind not being in the same league, it's not even playing the same fucking sport. This is some T-ball shit right here. Man, this is one of those things, everybody gets to swing until they hit the damn thing and nobody gets it out. Yeah, man, I mean, it's not particularly crispy. It's not particularly spicy. And it's kind of a shame. I wish that it had more of the mayo or whatever it is. Because that has some decent flavor to it. And it does give it a little bit of a kick. It's not as big or pronounced as a kick as the other one. It's also not quite as flavorful. But I think if they'd had more to work with, especially considering what you're offering here, that really should have been at the forefront of their thinking. Because we're not going to match on chicken quality. Let's at least go over there. Make sure that, McDonald's has always had a weird relationship with chicken, at least in my lifetime. I mean, you had the Mighty Wings, they keep kind of going back and forth if they're going to have, like, tenders. Of course, they've always got the McNuggets. Yeah, man. I mean, just by itself, it's there, but it's not particularly doesn't have a particularly strong chicken taste. You know, it's McDonald's, you know, so the pickles actually really help in this instance because it kind of needs that oomph. And I mean, when you get the sauce and everything, you know, it's not half bad, but I mean, it doesn't come anything close to the Popeyes. Yeah, man, it's if you stuck around this long, you just watch a man eat an entire chicken sandwich. It was also my dinner, so. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was never really going to be a competition. It was more just playing for points. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely better by a decent margin than a standard McChicken. And I think the McChicken's like $1. I forget exactly how much this was, but it wasn't $1. And I mean, if you're going through McDonald's, you know, you already know what you're going for in terms of, you know, the overall experience. You know, would I recommend it? Sure. Again, in a McDonald's context. Absolutely. It's not a bad sandwich for what it is, but it's not a great chicken sandwich. Like I said, you're not getting great chicken flavor. The mayo's decent flavor and everything. You know, like I said, I feel like if there'd been more on mine, it would have worked better. Pickles actually sort of helped. But ultimately, it's just not that tasty of a sandwich. You know, again, compared to your other offerings, because whether you're going KFC, whether you're going Popeyes, right off the bat, you're getting a better chicken experience. That is the fundamental thing. Sorry, I'm in my driveway and wind and stuff. Yeah, so you're getting a better chicken experience, right off the bat. And then on top of that, in terms of, you know, the spice and everything is just significantly elevated from what you're getting from McDonald's. Now, like I said, you know, this wasn't an issue of McDonald's really throwing hands. It was them doing a McDonald's version of these things. So, comparing it to, you know, the Popeyes or the KFC, like I said, it's no comparison, but if we are just playing for points, yeah, I mean, it's, I can't even really give it like a particularly respect, you know, if the Popeyes is a 10, you know, the 2.5, 3 if I'm being generous. Again, for a McDonald's item, it would be higher in terms of points, but comparing it next to, you know, the Popeyes, yeah, it's just not that spectacular. It's a very meh item. You know, but hey, give it a shot if you want. Like I said, I mean, I'm not gonna. If you're going to McDonald's, that's the point I keep emphasizing. It's probably one of their tastier items, because it did have okay flavor for what it was. But anyway, folks, that's gonna do it for me. I'm gonna finish eating my my Popeyes crab and all that stuff. So y'all have a great. Well, I almost forgot. My head's all good. Do 5 things for me. Spectacular rest of your day. Phenomenal rest of your week. Stupendous rest of your month. Have a great rest of your year. And have a Popeye spicy chicken sandwich rest of your life. Try to avoid having a McDonald's spicy crispy chicken rest of your life if you can. Though it won't be terrible, it'll just be really kind of like meh average. So, try to avoid that if you can. Final 2 things, folks. Try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is always appreciated, though. And if you can't do that, sometimes you can't. I know I certainly can't. Try not to be an asshole. I think that usually weighs things out pretty well. You know, if you can't put positivity out there, try not to take it away. Hey, sometimes you're going to fail at that too. I certainly do. Final thing, folks, could do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to do. I want you to go out. I want you to kick some ass. You know, maybe you're over there. You're like Billy and Jimmy from Double Dragon. And, you know, your friend or your girl goes over there and gets kidnapped. Now you gotta go, you gotta kick some ass. If that's what you gotta do, you go do that thing. I mean, probably call the police. I would imagine they're probably better suited for the situation, but I don't know what your situation is. So, anyway, folks, that's going to do it for me. You have a good one. Bye. So many chicken sandwiches.